WSH your non-stop entertainment radio. Can we give each other love? Can we give each other love? Can we give each other love? Would you not be afraid to keep each other? Should it be what you can do? Hey, brother, one place.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Second Chances, the show where we talk about life, love, and incredible power of giving. I'm your host, Hilaria Asumo, and tonight we're diving into a deeply meaningful topic. How organ donation can be an act of love that honors those we've lost while giving others a second chance at life. Now, before we get into it, let's celebrate something historic. This week marks not this, this week, yes, marks the very first living donation week happening. Well, it started from the 10th of March to the 16th of March. So today is the last day of the living donation campaign. And also happening this month, we celebrated World Kidney Day on the 13th, and which is 13th of this month, which is extra special for me because this month is also my seventh kidney anniversary. So this is a term, amongst us kidney patients. So we say it's our kidney anniversary, so kidney anniversary. So that's our transplant. So this month is my seventh year of have getting my transplant from my donor, and also my donor family agreeing to organ donation. Isn't that wonderful? So 7 years ago, I received a kidney transplant after waiting since 2008, and that kidney saved my life, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today. So I'm here today because that family made a decision to agree to organ donation, even if they were grieving for their loved one. And there is more. Our charity, WSH BME Kidney Network, has just launched a powerful new song, which you heard at the beginning of this show, Be a Hope Bringer, on Friday. On Friday, the 14th of March. And this anthem is to raise awareness about organ donation. Okay. And we want you listening, you watching, and you just sitting at home listening to the show. We want you to download it, stream it, and keep it trending because every play spreads the message and saves lives. So to start off, let's talk about organ donation and what organ donation actually is and why it matters. But before we do, here's a song, a perfect song to set the mood. It Feels So Good by Sonic. I absolutely love this song. And I was listening to it yesterday and I thought how apt this song is for what I'm going to be talking about today. It's just like that feeling of knowing you have changed somebody's life. Because my life was changed, and I'm sure that my donor family, whilst they might not really know who I am, they are, they are rest assured that their loved one has helped somebody else, and I'm keeping that legacy going by doing what I do. So just like that feeling of knowing you change someone's life, this song is all about that deep sense of fulfillment. So listen, enjoy, and when we come back, we'll break down the process of organ donation. So I'll see you back here in a minute. That was It Feels So Good. So if you're listening on the radio, obviously you would have heard that song. Because of copyright issues, I really can't play it on this live. But the beginning and the end, I hope that gave you a little taste for the music that was playing. Before I continue, I want to wish a special person a happy birthday. That's my baby sister, Olive Akiribola, who is 1 year older today. And if you look on my social media, you will see her pictures everywhere trending. We're all so happy that she's celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday, Olive. And I wish you all the very best of this new year in your life. So back to the program. That was It Feels So Good by Sonic. And let me tell you, nothing feels as good as knowing you've given someone a second chance at life. But how does organ donation work? In the UK, thousands of people are on the transplant waiting list. That's just over 6,000 people. And a significant number are from the Black African Caribbean background. And that's about 700 people. And the problem, we don't have enough donors from our own community. And that's why this conversation is critical. Now, I have been talking for a while about organ donation, living donation, deceased donation, and asking people to sign up to the donor register. However, in my community, obviously, I'm from the African Caribbean community, and by heritage, I'm African. And a lot of us don't talk about illness. That's why I had to wait 10 years to get my transplant. And, and sometimes I think a lot of people don't know how the process is, what the process is, and what, really happens when you have to donate. And there are two types of donation, and I'm going to be talking about that right now. So there are two types of organ donation. There's the living donation, which I'm campaigning about right now, and there is the deceased donation, which is the other one which I used to campaign about previously. But throughout this year, I'm going to be trying to raise awareness about living donation, because that is where we need a lot of people from my community. So I want to first talk about living donation. So living donation is when somebody who is living, breathing and walking around, eating and doing everything, comes forward and agrees, decides that they want to donate an organ to somebody. So you can donate one kidney, or you can donate a part of your liver. If you donate one kidney, you can absolutely live with one kidney, because I'm living with one kidney right now because I only got one kidney from my transplant. If you also want to donate a liver, a part of your liver would regenerate and grow back to its full size. So you can donate a lot of organs. You can as a living donor, you can donate 2 organs whilst you're living. So that's kidney and a part of your liver. Or you can donate stem cells and stuff like that if you want to donate muscles. But with deceased donation, you can donate a lot of your organs. So you can donate your kidney, you can donate your liver, you can donate your heart, you name it, any organ that you have, you can donate to help or improve somebody else's life. So the donation process is, the conversation around donation, the donation process is really important, because I think that is where a lot of people are worried, are scared about coming forward to be organ donors. So first, in terms of donating for the deceased donation, there is a step-by-step process, and the first part of that process is to sign up. So that is, you register. So, and you can sign up on the NHS organ donor register and state your decision. So if you go to www.organdonation.nhs.uk/register your decision, it takes you straight to your It takes you straight to a form that you can fill. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. You can decide you want to donate some of your organs or you want to donate all of your organs. Whichever you do, you are still going to be helping to improve or save somebody else's life. So in terms of, matching and transplantation, if you are a match, if a match is found, the transplant happens, and that gives the recipient, like I am, a new lease of life. So that's in terms of living donation. So in living donation, you can walk into any hospital or you can go to your GP and say, I would like to be an organ donor. I would like to donate my organ. Or you could donate to a family member. So it doesn't really matter who you are donating to, whether a family member or somebody you don't know. That is called altruistic donation. So you can just walk off the street, walk into the hospital, go to the renal department, the renal clinic, or speak to somebody from the reception and ask them to direct you to where the renal department is or the renal clinic. And you walk in there and go to the receptionist and say, um, ask them to call the living donation team. If they're not there, they can call any of the renal nurses who would help you. Because I know it's not, people who don't know the system find it difficult to know where to go. So that is a simpler way of doing it. And once you walk in, the living donation team will sit you down and explain the process to you. And as I've always said, there is no stupid or silly answer. Every question is important, is critical to you making that decision. So don't be shy, don't hold back. Any question you've got, you can ask. And they will take you through the process, what they are going to check for. They will ask you questions. There's a whole battery of tests that you have to go through. It doesn't mean that because you've walked in off the street and you're saying, oh, I want to donate, they suddenly just take you in and, take your organs. No, you have to go through a lot of tests. And they're trying to streamline it so that it's a shorter period. But as far as I know, it takes about 18 months for those tests to happen. Sometimes it ends up that you can't donate because of one issue or the other, or they found something that prevents you from donating. But that doesn't stop you from helping others. You can volunteer. You can volunteer with organizations like my charity, WSH BME Kidney Network, or the NHS Blood and Transplant. They're always looking, we are all always looking for volunteers to work with us. You could volunteer with Kidney Research UK, and there's quite a lot of organizations who are raising awareness about organ donation that you can join. So once you go forward and ask for and tell the living donation team that you want to donate, then you go through all those tests. And once they match you to somebody, they would call that person in. I don't think you tend to meet the person. It's just to protect both of you. You end up not meeting them, except you yourself decide that you want to meet the person that you're donating to. But most times it's just people walking off the streets and donating altruistically because they want to help somebody. For deceased donation is totally different. The person, it's after the person dies. So in order to donate organs, the person has to meet certain criteria. So you have to have passed away in the hospital. You connected to a life-saving machine. Oxygen is still going through those organs that are needed. And the doctors would always test to check that the person is no longer alive. And the only way organ donation would go forward is if they've done everything that they can, and they would ask permission from your family if they are willing to come forward to be organ if they're willing to come forward to be if they're willing for your organs to be used to save or improve somebody else's life. So that's why we're always saying that people should, when they sign up to the organ donor register, to speak to their families and let them know that they have signed up to the organ donor register, so that if they are not in a position to do so, their families can do that on their behalf. And there's been a lot of stories about young people who have signed up in school, and they've met with one tragedy or the other, and they've lost their lives, and their families are shocked to find out that their child or brother or sister has signed up to the organ donor register. And because they've signed up, and at one time or the other, they had that conversation with their family, their parents, to say, I've signed up to the organ donation register. I want to donate my organs if anything happens to me. They've been able to make that decision. Unfortunately, in our community, in the Black community, we have not been able to identify a lot of people who have donated their loved ones' organs after they have passed on. So we have quite a few people who step forward as living donors, and most of the time they are donating either to their children or to their husbands or to their wives. But we need more people to come forward as living donors, and that is what we're concentrating on this year. So as I said before, family discussions. Your family would always be consulted, as I said earlier on. Your family would always be consulted, even if you're registered. So you need to talk to them earlier on than what you would do. Even when you're sick, you will not have that time you won't even remember to tell them that I'm signed up to the organ donor register. And as I know my community, once you start talking about telling them that, oh, if anything happens to me, this is what they go, don't say that. You are going to be okay in Jesus' name. God forbid you're not going to die, but we never know what is going to happen. So have a talk with your family and let them know that you have signed up to the organ donor register, so that they can fulfill your wish, so they can ensure that your wish is adhered to, and your organs are used to save and improve somebody else's life. But for living donation, you have that power right now. You can decide what you want to do with your organs, with your body. And as I said, if you feel it is too much for you and you don't want to do it right now, start to volunteer. As you find out more about living donation, I'm sure that you will feel a lot more better than, just sitting down there and not doing that research. Do that research, speak to people, ask questions, and when you've made that decision, approach the living donation team in the hospitals, and they would take you through the process. Now, I just want you to, take a step back right now whilst we're thinking about what I've just talked about. Let's listen to Simi Duduke. And hopefully when we come back, people will have questions for me. And if you have any questions, we're taking questions in the studio. The number to call is 0161 222 9960. And you can text me as well. That text on WhatsApp is 0744 881 1570. So reach out to us in the studio, and here comes Duduke by Simi, and I'll see you back here in a bit. That was Dudu Care by Simi, a song about nurturing life, something that ties perfectly into what we're about to discuss, culture and family. And so, in many African and Caribbean communities, death is a sensitive topic. We celebrate life, but we don't always plan what happens after. So, here are three key ways to making your wishes known. So, as I said earlier on, educate yourself, understand what organ donation is and how it works, talk about it, have open, honest conversations with your loved ones, and make it official. Register your decision so there's no confusion. And that is where we fall down. And as I was saying at the end of the previous segment, we tend to think that when we discuss plans about our lives for afterwards, when we're no longer alive, that we are maybe putting a curse on ourselves and we're going to die the next minute. That is not true. Because the more you make those plans, the better it is for your family when it actually does happen. I talk about death all the time because I'm always talking about organ donation. I'm always talking about kidney disease. And as we all know, we don't like to deal with these topics. We don't like to talk about them. But how can you educate yourself? First things first, to educate yourself, you go on the NHS Blood and Transplant website, you go on the Kidney Research UK website. There's also another charity, the name is blown out of my head, but you can also go on WSH BME Kidney Network website, and you can find a lot of information about kidney disease, which is one of the most common organs that um, makes us require organs or transplants. So let's start thinking about, accessing those websites. Yesterday was Saturday. On Friday, we celebrated um, the different campaigns and awareness campaigns this month, which is World Kidney Day, living donation, the very first ever um, living donation campaign, and a lot of other things, and celebrated my seventh kidney transplant anniversary. And at that event, a lot of women were there. And what we're talking about was how why women are prone to kidney disease, because that is why most women would need a transplant. And they were quite shocked to hear of the reasons they would have why they would have kidney disease, because a lot of us work a lot. And as the consultant said, it is not about stress, it is about your lifestyle. It is about you going out to work 3, 4 jobs without resting. You need to take time for yourself. You need to educate yourself on how to look after your health. And a lot of people don't do that. You also have to watch out for the signs of kidney disease, because this is where we fail. We would look after every other person but ourselves as women. We are natural caregivers. So what happens is we look after other people, run around and look after, everybody, children, husbands, family. But when it comes to us, we push ourselves to one side. So this is a moment of clarity. We need to start educating ourselves on how we can start looking after our bodies, so we don't end up in a place of no return. So, in understanding what organ donation is and how it works, speak to your GP, go to your GP, speak to your GP and ask them, what is organ donation? Can I check my kidneys? how would I end up becoming a kidney patient? When you have that appointment with your GP, don't just go and talk about one little thing and you walk out. You've got 10 minutes, spend it wisely. Speak to your GP. Find out how you can combat the symptoms of kidney disease. And then ask about the process. And I'm sure they will be very happy to speak to you. And also think about signing up, because then when you're going through all the tests, that is when they will find out, if you have any underlying conditions that can be treated or that will stop you from being an organ donor. And a lot of people, in coming forward to become organ donors, have found out that they have underlying conditions. So they use that process to look into their whole health, their health as a whole, and they come out of it better than before. And when you do sign up, oh, it's one thing I forget to talk about. So a lot of people think that if you have a underlying health condition, that you cannot donate. Of course you can. You can sign up, and if for any reason you are not eligible to donate, the nurses or the doctor will tell you that this is the reason, and they will start treating you for those underlying conditions you have that you weren't even aware of. Some people have diabetes as an underlying condition, but because it is not presenting in them, they don't know. So when you go for those tests, it actually picks up those underlying conditions. And then you know that this is what is wrong with me, and you can treat yourself. Some people ask me, oh, I have high blood pressure. Would I be able to donate? Oh, I've had some symptoms of cancer, or I've been treated for cancer. Can I donate? There is nothing that doesn't stop you from signing up. There's nothing that would stop you from signing up. Whether you've had cancer or you've had diabetes or you have diabetes, whatever the ailment, sign up. The doctors will test you and let you know if you can donate or not. The more we come forward, the better it is for those of our people on the transplant list who are waiting for that hero to give them a second chance at life. So once you signed up to that organ donor register, have a talk with your family. It doesn't have to be a whole big, don't make it a big issue. You could be sitting down, at the dinner table. You could be watching television in the evening. Some families gather in the evening to watch TV. It could be at that point in time. Sometimes you have, programs. There was an episode on Coronation Street, and that triggered a lot of conversations, and a lot of people signed up to the organ donor register, and that was one of the highest that we've seen in a while. But I think at that point in time, it was more of our white counterparts doing the signing up. Even if we have people from the Black community signing up now, we still need more people, because we have over 700 Black Black people on the transplant list waiting for that call, to tell them that somebody has come forward to donate to them. So have that conversation with your families, your friends, your neighbors. I do that all the time. I tell people that I have signed up to the organ donor register. That if anything happens to me today and I'm unable to to speak for myself, or I'm not in a position to give consent for the doctors to use my organ to save or improve somebody else's life, then my family, my friends, my neighbors, people who know me can do that. Because you have to understand that when you are given a second chance, or when you are in a position to help somebody else live a full life like I have done so many things I never thought I would be able to do. And today, I am all the better for my volunteering across every organization, across every community, whether in Salford or Greater Manchester or outside of Greater Manchester. I'm all the better for it. So reach out to your family when you sign up, speak to them and tell them that I have signed up to the organ donor register. And how can you do that? Because when you do it, you'll be surprised, you'll get a lot of questions. Yes, you would obviously get some of your members of your family saying, why would you go and do that? You will get a lot of pressure from your peers saying, why have you done that? All you have to do is say, it is the only way I know how to give back. Especially if something has happened to you, like something happened to me. And most of you know my story. I'm not going to repeat it. But type me into Google and you'll find out my story. I'm always talking about it. So when you're talking to people, when they come forward and say, why have you done that? Just tell them that there are 700 of us on the transplant list waiting for that call. I got that call in 2018 in March. And today, this month is my 7th anniversary and I'm living my life. I'm doing this so you can. So in order to make it official, you need to put it down on paper. And when you put it down on paper, when you sign up to the register, when you're not in a position to do so, those specialist nurses for organ donation can actually approach your family to speak to them. And mind you, they don't just come to you and talk to you like that. If you want somebody with you, your pastor, your imam, your community leader, whoever you want with you, they will be willing to talk to them to walk you through the process. So don't be scared when you tell your family, if ever at any time you need your pastor or your imam or your religious leader with you to support you through the process. I know that every religion actually thinks that organ donation is a good thing to do. It's showing love to your brother, to your sister, and to your neighbor. And as Christians, we know that commandment, love your neighbor as yourself. So whilst we are reflecting on what I've said so far, let's listen to Wizkid's Ojo Elegba, and I will see you back here in a minute or two. I'll speak to you soon. That was Ojo Elegba by Wizkid, a song about overcoming barriers. And speaking of barriers, one of the biggest ones we face in organ donation is simply not knowing what to do next. And for most people, it is a sort of it's a sort of process that's shrouded in secrecy, but there is no secret about it. It is right out there in the open. There are organ donation ambassadors all across the UK who are raising awareness about organ donation. You can ask those questions. The information is online. Um, the the um, the information is online. You can actually speak to your GP about it. You can find out for yourself on the different websites I've been mentioning all evening, and you can educate yourself. Just go and do your research. It isn't very hard. If you want to save somebody's life, if you want to save somebody else's life, if you want to save your family's life, because you never know if it is you today or it's somebody you know tomorrow. You can make that decision tonight to educate yourself on what to do. And when you've done that, you have to have that conversation with your family, because it's one person who brings about a change, and you can be that person bringing about that change to your family. Because for me, when before I became a kidney patient, I never thought about organ donation. I never even thought I was going to fall sick. I felt invisible. I went out, I did what I wanted to do. And when it happened to me, it was a blow. Whilst I was mostly out of it, when I came out of my experience, I realized that, anything could happen to you the next minute and you're gone. And my family suffered for it, my children. And today, my children are all grown up because of organ donation. Somebody agreed to organ donation. And that's why I'm doing this today. I'm so grateful on my 7th anniversary that I am still here talking about how you can be that hero for somebody else. You can stand up and say, um, I want to help somebody. I will stand up and go to the hospital and say, listen, what do I have to do to donate part of my liver? What do I have to do to donate my kidney? It isn't hard. And when you register to be a donor, or when you come forward to be a donor, they will tell you about the PET scheme, because it's not every time you come forward that, some people want to donate to their families. Unfortunately, they are not a match. My 7 brothers and sisters, both my parents and my best friend came forward, and none of them was a match. Unfortunately, I had to wait 10 years to get a transplant. My girlfriend actually went into the PET scheme. Now, if you don't know about the PET scheme is where you and your donor go into a circle. So it could be a circle of 3, 4, 5, or 6 people. And one person from another donor couple will donate to you, and just goes to another person within that circle. And we went in there and we waited, but because of my antibodies, the rate of my antibodies, we couldn't find somebody to donate, well, to take ours, and for somebody to donate to me. So it was really hard. And when I got that call that morning, after doing my dialysis, and they said, we found a kidney for you, I knew that this was it. I was out of dialysis. I was doing dialysis 4 times a week, 3.5 hours each time. But since 2018, I have not done dialysis. I have been living my life. Yes, I know there have been times when it's been really challenging, but for better part of it, I have been okay. And when we talk about getting a transplant, it doesn't mean that it's a cure. It's another form of treatment. So that kidney can fail anytime. But for deceased donation, the kidneys can last up to 15 years, at least 15 years. For living donation, it's 25 years. That is why we are pushing for people to come forward to donate an organ as living donors. So when we talk about, living donation, we're talking about a legacy, because when you donate to somebody, you are giving them life. You're giving them a second chance at life, which is what my donor did for me. My donor agreed, family agreed to organ donation, and I'm here today. My kids were, the second time I had my episode, my kids were 6 and 7. And today, they're 22 and 23. My donor had given me from 2018 another 7 years to see my children attain their dreams, their goals. And I'm still here. And I hope I continue to live another 10, 15 years with this kidney that has been donated to me. So I want you to spread the word, talk about this issue in your community, at church, or with friends. And if you want to volunteer to continue to spread this word, to spread the word about organ donation, please reach out to me on my social media platforms at WSH BME Kidneys, or on my Facebook page. It's just Hilaria Asumo. You'll find me. And whilst we're reflecting on that, I want us to listen to Burna Boy, Yeah, and I'll be back in a minute. I'll see you soon. That was Yeah by Burna Boy, a song about rising above, just like the people who chose to give the gift of life. Tonight, we've explored how organ donation can be a legacy of love. But before I go, I want to ask you one last question. What kind of impact do you want to leave behind? What can you do today? I want to leave you with 3 action steps, real, tangible things you can do to make a difference. The first is to have a conversation. Talk to your family this week. Ask them what they want and share your thoughts. Number 2, register your decision. Whether it's a yes or no, make sure your wishes are known. And number 3, spread the word. Share this conversation with friends in your church, in your community, in the mosque, on the streets, in your workplace. The more we talk, the more we change. And of course, don't forget to download Be a Hope Bringer. We want this song to be the anthem for organ donation awareness. So stream it, share it, and make sure it's heard. And next week on Second Chances, we tackle a powerful topic, organ donation and mental health, breaking the stigma. And how does receiving or donating an organ affect um, your emotional well-being? What happens when gratitude and guilt mix together? And don't forget, this is Living Donation Week. Celebrate it with us. Spread the message and keep Be a Hope Bringer trending. And let's close with a song that speaks to strength and purpose. And that song is Blinded by Your Grace by Stormzy. And we will see you again next week at the same time. And before next week, keep sharing that song. Keep thinking about organ donation, especially living donation. Speak to your community. Speak to people in your mosque, in your workplace, whilst you are, having dinner, whilst you are watching TV, on the bus, on the plane, on the train. I have done those things, and you can as well. So until next week at 5 o'clock on Radio Africana. Um, I'll see you. And here is Stormzy, and I'll see you next week. Bye.